Welcome to KHUR Radio, home of the Fleet DJs and where the real recognize real. Thank you for joining me. I'm Heavy Hustles, and that guy right there, he goes by the name Dino for real. What's good, bro?
What's happening with you, bro? What's good with you today, man?
Oh, man, I can't complain, bro. Just coming off the Father's Day weekend, birthday weekend, so, hey, I'm still on cloud nine. Hey, the old fella like a king this weekend, so.
Hey, yeah. I wish it is some clouds out there as hot as it's been, bro. Come on, man. We do need some clouds. 8, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 out there. You know what I'm saying?
I know it, man. And then they saying it ain't getting no better either. No rain in sight.
Yeah, bro. It's rough out here. It's hot out here in Texas, man. In any regards, this episode is powered by Blessed Hands Caribbean Food. Give your taste buds a tropical vacation with a variety of authentic Guyanese cuisine. Blessed Hand Caribbean Food, located at 105 West Avenue E in Coppers Cove, Texas. Stop by Taste of Cove Food Truck Park or call ahead with your order, 254-370-1239. We got a special guest for y'all today, man. We'll be right back right after this. This episode is sponsored by T-Mobile, the Un-Carrier, the leader in nationwide 5G. Beck and Master North out of Houston, Texas, where they treat every customer like family. Mysterious Entertainment Music Group, MEMG, the major indie label. And the next MC to blow, ENT, where dreams become a reality.
It's KHUR, The Vault, the cure for urban music.
My station. Hit it.
All right, tonight our guest is no stranger to KHUR Radio. He's a co-owner and founder of Groove Line Production mobile DJ services. He holds multiple degrees in music production, engineering, including his latest degree in audio engineering from Full Sail's University. All right, he's also a member of the
Fleet DJs.
Yes, sir. The Worldwide Fleet DJs. And you can catch him every Tuesday right here on KHUR Radio on the Silhouette and Shadows mixtape show every Tuesday, all right? Welcome to the show, my dog, Ptch Blaq.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
What's good with you, man? What's happening out there with you?
Everything is everything. You know, I'm dealing with this hot Texas weather. You know,
we heard you was having a few equipment malfunctions over this Father's Day weekend, huh?
Oh yeah, I had a wedding, and once we got done with the first dance, then the computer went during the dance. So I had to plug in the iPad, and that went So
Wow.
Me and the father of the groom actually had to pick up the DJ table and move it to the shade. So.
Man, you better start carrying you some ice packs with you. You know what I'm saying? Throw some ice packs under that joker. You know what I'm saying? Cool it down a little bit.
We had got ice, put it under the computer to let it cool down, and started picking back up.
Wow. Yeah. Man, that's wild, man. The equipment's so hot it just started shutting down, bro. I don't know. What would you have done if they just started saying, hey man, we want our money back?
Well, so we gotta move this either inside or over into the shade.
Right.
Hey, contract signed, huh? Contract signed. Ain't no refund.
I just paid. You just won't get that back in. So.
Yeah, show must go on.
Yes, all right, man. Well, all right, Ptch Blaq, man. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, man. And you, like I say, you're no stranger to the show. You know, your show's every Tuesday, the Silhouettes and Shadows show, mixtape show. Do a great job, man. Nice audience and stuff. Good following. So what's going on with Ptch Blaq, man? What's been up with you, man? Besides the DJs, I mean, the weddings and stuff. What's going on with you?
Other than DJing weddings, we also do corporate events. I also have a home studio, which you see some of the equipment back here. I recently released a 6-track EP in April. It's doing pretty well. Marketed here in the States and overseas. So, I try to market where predominantly where military is hovered around, like in the areas like overseas in Germany and stuff like that. Because I know I haven't been to Germany when I was in the military, but I know, that side of the earth, the world.
Right.
They like, you know, American music. So
Yeah.
I think
Right.
it worked for Hendrix, it could work for me. So
Well, all right, then. We kind of jumped ahead, but let's get started. Who is Ptch Blaq, man? Let's tell us a little bit about yourself. You mentioned that you retired military, so.
yeah. I'm retired military. I got in the military in 1994, and that was by accident, somewhat, so to speak. I was into music way back before the military. So as a kid, I always grew up either writing lyrics or humming melodies or trying to sing lyrics. When I was at my father's job, you know, he was self-employed, so I'd be sitting in the back just nodding my head and coming up with stuff.
Right.
And then, you know, I started listening to music, listening to artists, and as I grew older, my father's flavor, like the Marvin Gayes and stuff like that, Sam Cooke and Jackie Wilson, you know, started into me, you know, naturally. And then also with my sister with the funk in the 70s era, and my mother with the church music, gospel music. So, you know, she used to take me to church on Sundays, and, you know, I was interested to go because I was like, let me see what the drummer going to do today. And I always watched the drummer during church services. And my father taught me the guitar. But I got in the Army mainly because, you know, I was 22 living in the South Bronx projects with my mother. And I'm like, well, you know, it's time for me to, you know, spread my wings and get up out and try to find James. You know, my name is James. And after that, back to the reason why I got in the military. I was trying to get recording equipment. So once I graduated high school, I went to a music school called Center for the Media Arts. If people have heard about it, you know, you look up Herbie from Salt and Pepper era. He went there.
Yep.
Yeah, Herbie Hancock.
Yeah. And from there, I learned how to splice tape and, you know, mix on equipment, do remixes, stuff like that. And from there, I went to I got a job as engineer at a studio in Harlem. And it was a apartment studio. So I learned some stuff there. The interview was kind of rough because I did it to myself. He was like, you know how to play piano? I was like, yeah. So I got on the piano thinking, you know, I can swing it. And I was like, ding, ding, ding. There no scales, there no nothing. So, but, you know, he let me in. And a few months later, I left that position and actually went back and recorded my first demo in 93. And looking back now, you know, at that time, I didn't know it then, but I was actually producing the music because I had nobody to produce it for me. So I was like, add this and add this and add that and add this. And looking back, you know, I was producing my song, and the guy that was there with me, you know, he was engineering it. And through Center for Media Arts, you know, they gave us, you know, or we found pamphlets laying around. I'm like, I got to get this equipment right here. I got to get this. And after a while, I'm like, well, I got to get this. But, you know, my unemployment, non-money in my pocket saying, well, you need to get money. So I was like, what can I do? It's like, go to the, you know, Army, couple years, you know, get equipment, and bam, open up a studio.
Yeah, be back out at it.
Yeah, make a long story short, once I got out of basic training, started looking around for equipment, I was like, what do I buy now? So, and throughout the years, I just gave up on music, you know, in the military. And then, you know, every now and then I'll either get stationed with somebody who was a DJ and they get me right back into it just based on what they were talking about, you know, like music and songs, all that. Go back to my home, I'm like, well, yeah, I should do this. And maybe 2 times that happened where I did quit music. And, you know, I was like, well, if I get back in it, you know, I'm going to do it for the long run. So I finished out my stint in the military, 23 years, 11 months later. I got out and started building my home studio. As you see, some of the equipment back here, but also even back in 2000 is when I actually started. 2004 is when I started actually buying my equipment and building upon that. And some of it I still use. That's in the studio now today.
Oh yeah. That's an ongoing monster that you're gonna always be buying equipment and updating. Yeah. Yeah. You've been in the game a long time, man. I wouldn't have knew that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what brought you, in the military, the music, you're trying to get the equipment. But hey, I can understand that. I can understand that. Yeah.
Also that it was, two females, they kind of irritated me. So I was like, you know what? I'm tired of these New York chicks, I'm gonna go to the military, explore the world of chicks. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So what would you say so far? You started off kind of like being a producer. You started off being kind of like an artist, writing music. It's obvious that you're musically inclined. You got that music bug in you.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is your particular forte? Is it producing music? Is it writing music? Is it engineering music? Like what do you prefer to do?
What I prefer to do, I think it's easier for me to sit down and come up with music as far as a producer and engineer it now that I know what I'm doing after graduating Full Sail. Because for years, I'd sit there, read books and look at videos and be like, what are they saying? And then Full Sail, put it all together with what I knew. It made everything click. But as far as that, I used to write lyrics, religiously in high school, every day during lunch, I'm writing lyrics. And after a while, I got tired of, writing about the same stuff because more or less it was about, female dating, courtship, stuff like that. So then after a while, me and my partners, make home demos and stuff like that and try to shop it out. And, nobody calls, we're not using original music, using instrumental songs, artists that's been out, Planet Rock and stuff like that. So that made me, going along with to caveat on making my first demo in '93. Reason I went to the studio was, I had nobody to produce my own music and stuff like that. So being a producer and engineer kind of came together, just because I had nobody to do it for me. I always kept to myself and, I always wanted to do it by myself. So I would learn keyboard by myself. My mother taught me some chords and stuff like that. But after the years, I forgot it as I got older. But when I got back into it, going to Center for Media Arts, started studying scales and chords and stuff like that. And then my father taught me the guitar. And then writing lyrics just became, too much of a struggle. You got to sit there. What do I write about? Ego, got to come up with the chorus, the verse. So I'm like, you know what? And coming up with a song on a keyboard, it's like my thing with creating music on the keyboard is I let my hands just lay down on the keyboard and whatever plays, that's what I build off and make the melody. Then from the melody, if you stop and listen, the other instruments will say, hey, let's throw a bass in there. And I go bass, and I go find strings. Then what I usually lay down last is the drums and put everything around that. And then pretty much the song is done. Sometimes I come up with the beat first and then make everything around that. But I like creating a melody, bass line, some chords, maybe some pads, and then throw the drums in last. So I like producing and engineering because engineering, I'm under the belief that if I'm sitting, I'm writing it, producing it, I should be able to engineer it because what I'm hearing as I write it is what I'm trying to hear as I'm producing it. I mean, engineer it rather. Right. People say, don't do everything by yourself, but if you can, then you get somebody else to hear it that, you know, has a blind ear, so to speak, to it, then they can give you feedback.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, engineering and producers, producing, I believe, goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because producing can make you a better engineer, and being an engineer can definitely make you a better producer.
Yeah.
So I do believe they do go hand in hand. But okay, that was good information, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, listen, man. I've been listening to you. So you had both parents. I assume that's great. You know, most kids don't have. You know, how much did they really play a role? I mean, you said your mother taught you something on the piano. Your father taught you something on the guitar. So
Yes.
it's not like you come from music.
Yeah. My father's side of the family played guitar, so his uncles and stuff like that growing up, and his cousins. And my mother, she even taught my nieces and nephews as they grew up, you know, how to play good keyboards. So
Okay.
coming from them, you know, it was, I guess, music was always there. You know, it's just when it's the opportunity for me to fully put it together and run with it with my own thing, you know.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what brought on the DJing? I mean, you went from playing music now to playing music. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended, but you play music now. So how did that get started?
DJing happened by accident. Well, go back to when I was 16 and like that, when I started trying to build my apartment studio, you know, with like tape recorder, Casio keyboard, and 2 turntables. One of my sister's friends' daughter was turning 16. She was like, "You want to DJ her birthday party?" I was like, "Well, I don't know how to DJ. You know, I don't scratch and learn the techniques and all of that." So I'm like, "How can I do this?" So I was like, "Well, no, I wasn't 16. I think I was 19 actually." And I was like, "Well, you've been the Center for Media Arts, and just apply what an engineer does and do it as a DJ." So I was like, "Okay." So transition here, transition there. That's when I started becoming a DJ. So probably about 19, you know, I started a DJ, but it was nothing I was really interested in. So cut to 2000, maybe 17, me and a partner, we was at school in San Antonio. Back then it's called BNOC. I forgot what it's called. Leadership course. It's called leadership course.
Yeah.
And
Basic non-commissioned officer course.
there you go. Been out the military for about 3 years, and I forgot a lot of acronyms. I went to Guitar Center one lunch afternoon, and I walked by, saw the new DJ equipment, how it looked, you know, paid no attention to it, and walked around, started because I was, you know, trying to look for audio stuff. So during a break, during lunch the next day, he was like, "Hey, I want to go to Guitar Center." I was like, "You know, I've been to Guitar Center yesterday. You want to go? I'll take you." So he went to go do his thing, and I, you know, went walking around, and then bam, that day the DJ equipment called me. It was like, "Look how look all the buttons and
Hey, the buttons and lights will get you, won't they?
oh yeah, and no more big crates of music. You can put it all on a computer, James." So on the way back to camp, I was thinking to myself, because he was driving, I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna be a DJ." He's like, "What you gonna DJ?" I was like, "Weddings." And from there, I just started taking it and running with it. So, and from then I started DJing professionally before I got out the military to make sure I hone in my craft before I fully go out and pursue it full time once I retired. So, it was pretty much DJing, producing, and engineering has been there. It's just putting it finally all together. You know, when my mind relaxed and when the time of my military, you know, life was about to expire, everything came together. DJing, producing, and engineering.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great backstory, man. Great backstory on both of them. It's amazing how you getting all of this stuff by accident, though. I mean, you know, producing by accident, DJing by accident.
Yeah.
So let's jump into this EP you got out right now.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about how this came about and
Mhm.
how did you decide to even go this route as far as putting out an EP?
All right. Well, I want to put out an EP because, again, I don't know record labels, stuff like that. And nowadays, we're in a digital world. Anybody can do everything by themselves, if it's, professionally done. There's
Right.
one doing stuff professionally and doing stuff amateurly just because you got equipment and trying to put out music. Because even 5 years from now, somebody might listen to your music and it's not mixed or mastered correctly. And that's not going to have longevity. But if you have something that's mixed and mastered, somewhat decently, it can survive, several more,
Right.
and with that, the EP came about because I was finishing Full Sail. And once I graduated, I wanted to set myself a timeline of putting something out. And, after homework was done with and sitting there for hours after homework and doing homework in the studio, I was like, man, I got no time for nothing. So once that was done, then I was like, let me put a CD together. I'm like, well, I don't have nobody to rap on it, stuff like that, or sing on it. So what's the main thing I'm trying to do is put myself out there. I already put myself out there as a DJ. So now I want people to see another side of my creativity as a music producer. Wedding shows I would go to and meet people, other vendors, and they may have a teenager that knows somebody, or a vendor themselves might be a singer and be like, yeah, I produce and I do. Case in point, I went to a liquor store, I met the dude. Well, I've known him for a few years. Does he know I like peach crown? So he's like, yeah, we don't have none today or whatever. But he's like, hey, going to Houston and me and my brother going to work on an album. I was like, hey, I do this, I do that. And he gave me the look like. I was like, okay.
Right.
In the headlight.
So after that, I'm like, well, why did he give you the right face? I'm like, you have no tangible proof. You can say you can produce, you can say you can engineer, but there's nothing for nobody to hear. So that's one of the reasons why I worked on my EP. It's called The Vault. And I pretty much got a bunch of songs that I started developing, over years. And now I had the craft to put them together, mix them, master them, and then push them out. And so that's how that came about. It was pretty quick to do, pretty fast. And I actually, got with Dina. I was like, hey, can you listen to this? Make sure, it's good to go. And, I got a pretty good feedback from him and, released the EP rather. And
how many tracks do you have on it?
I got 6 tracks on there.
And all of them original by you?
Original, yes. I like to create music from the beginning, from the very nucleus, so to speak. So there's no samples. I play the keys. I played the bass, actual bass guitar. I played the electric guitar. I even had played a harmonica on a few of them, just to throw something new out there as far as the sound. And doing that, came up with the CD, and I felt good about it. And I could have added more tracks to it, but I wanted to get something out real quick, And I had I had 100 CDs duplicated. So I just started giving them out to people, at weddings. I gave them out to a few of my clients, a few vendors, stuff like that. I'm like, hey, I'm promoting my CD. I don't want no money or anything. If you like to support me, listen to it on TikTok, or not TikTok. It's on TikTok, but listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, stuff like that, because it'll help me out, in the back end with, potential royalty growth.
Right.
So that's how that started. So I've been giving them out, and I've been hearing a lot of good feedback on the CD. People like it, and I think it's pretty dope CD, so to speak. My first thing.
Well,
But
damn.
yeah, right now I'm working on new music. I'm always making new music every day. And, sometimes I might take a day or two break just to let the mind, relax and come up with some new killer hits.
Some killer hits. What DAW you working with? Now, you Pro Tools or what are you using?
I am Pro Tools all the way.
All the way Pro Tools. Okay.
Pro Tools since 2006 or 7 when I first touched Pro Tools. And throughout class and other stuff like that, I've been to Berkeley Online and Full Sail. They teach you other stuff. And when they deviate from Pro Tools for a month or however long, I'm like, I can't wait to get this over with so I get back to Pro Tools. I'm just more comfortable with it. I like the way it looks, the flow. I just, to me, it's my go-to. So.
All right. So when you was in school, they taught you other DAWs? Y'all didn't just stick with one? Y'all bounced around a little bit? What do you think the purpose of that was? Why do you think they don't just have a standard they teach on? And
yeah, well, as a producer, they want you to know how to touch all the DAWs that you can, because you never know what situation you'll be in, or studio, or you got a client that might have Ableton, and you're not foreign to it if they send you, files, especially the session files in Ableton, So
right.
I think are in DAWs, is better because you can, quickly get it back to the client or whoever you work. Even if it's somebody that come to your home studio and be like, hey, I worked this in Fruity Loops, can you help me out? Instead of opening up Fruity Loops, and to be foreign to you, you have a little foot wet with Fruity Loops and get the session done. So, but coming from me, my studio is all Pro Tools. So.
Well, just coming from school and just graduating and earning your degree, would you say there's an industry standard when it comes to DAWs?
I would think it would be, but a lot of people will use Ableton, and I think Ableton's starting to become the second runner-up to a lot of professionals in a business other than Pro Tools. Ableton, I'm hearing that a lot, and Ableton and the one on Mac, I forgot what it's called.
Logic? It ain't Logic. Is it Reasons?
Logic.
Logic. Okay. Right.
Yeah. I'm good with those.
So out of these DAWs, obviously but there are different types of DAWs, and different types of DAWs are used for different things. For instance, Ableton is primarily used for creating music, not recording or engineering music. Whereas something like Logic and say Pro Tools is more for mixing and engineering your music. You can produce on it, but it's not going to be the same, say, like as a Ableton Live.
Yeah.
So having those two categories of, I'm just piggybacking off of the question that Heavy asked you, having those two categories of one, and let's just call it a sequencer. Let's call it a sequencer. What do you feel should be the industry standard when it comes to sequencing, and then for engineering, recording, engineering, and mixing and mastering vocals?
Oh, that's totally different. We deviate now out of Pro Tools far as sequencing. For the last month and a half, going on 2, I've been recently sequencing with the MPC-1 and the Phantom O. I got the Phantom 06 almost a month ago. And I have the MPC, I had the older version of the MPC Studio. And from there, I was a DAW person, through and through, with Reason, Fruity Loops and stuff like that, even Pro Tools with the Air technology DAW.
Right.
And during the last several months, you know, I got irritated with, I mean, Dino tried to tell me about one software to go through to go
Machine.
get did the machine and the software online. What's the software you use online that you told me about?
Which one?
The machine.
Got a plethora of sounds.
Oh, you're talking about the Output Arcade.
Yeah, Output Arcade.
That's a plugin. Yeah, that's a plugin. Yeah.
Yeah. So that I was like hesitant on that, but I was still looking at sounds from here and there. And after a while, after about a month of doing that and not listening to the arcade hit, I was like, I'm buying all these damn plugins and I'm not getting the sounds that I want. You know, this plugin says it got bells in it, but I don't say how many bells. You know, it can come with 2 bells. You $30 on the plugin, they got 2 bells.
And they cowbells, huh? That's the bell.
He said cowbells.
Again, by accident, I was fishing on YouTube and I saw this dude. He was like talking about the Phantom I forgot which version of Phantom. That harkened me back in the day when I was full, you know, hardware mixed with DAW, because I had the motif and I had the original, not the original, but the Phantom rack mount. Phantom rack mount module. So I was like, what? You know, check out this Phantom, because even back then with the rack mount Phantom, you put in, hey, I want a bell, you know, you get a plethora of bells. I'm like, you know, let's take that leap and see what happens. And then I got the Phantom O and started plugging that bad boy in. Took about 2 weeks to learn it, listening to all the sounds in it. I'm like, damn, this thing sound good. In the fullness of the synthesizer compared to, like, I don't want to put other DAWs down because I still use them, but I've been on the Phantom and the MPC one for the last almost 2 months rather hard. And I really like the sounds of the Phantom. And, you know, I don't want to plug in the Phantom, you know, and not get paid for it, but, you know, I can, you can add sounds in it, because every week or several times throughout the month, they add new sounds and you can download it to a thumb drive, pop it in the Phantom, and bam, you got new sounds and didn't even have to pay for it. So you get like free sounds, you know, with the Phantom.
Yeah. Wow.
Right.
So I produce as far as sequencing with the MPC one and the Phantom, and then I route everything in the Pro Tools. So the MPC one, you know, has a sequencer and standalone, but I got everything tracked out and bounced. Work the magic in Pro Tools.
No, that's where the magic happens at, huh? Yeah. Adbit, goddamn, taking over.
I know. I mean, other DAWs out there, they trying to close the gap. You know what I'm saying? They closing the gap. It's not as big as it was, say, 15 years ago, where it was, you know, Pro Tools was clearly head and shoulders above any other digital DAW that's out there. But I mean, you got other DAWs out there like Harrison Mixbus 32C. You got Logic, even the free Cakewalk. I mean, back in the day, Cakewalk was like $499. It's absolutely completely free now if you're a Windows user. For a full DAW for completely free. So they're closing the gap. It's not as prominent
because
as it was.
Digital. Yeah, it's digital now. Yeah. So everybody has a shot.
Right. Just got to be careful, man, because anybody get a copy of Pro Tools, don't make you an audio engineer. You know what I'm saying? Just because you got it.
Oh, yeah. Point with that. Back
so what's the
full set? Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. What's the name of the EP? What did you name it? Never got that.
The Vault.
Vault. Okay, you did say that. The Vault. Yeah. Okay. All right. Hey, the Vault.
Because got a library of music, and that's where I drew the 6 songs from. So it's the vault.
Okay.
So.
And what's your favorite track? What's your favorite track? Because being that you produced them all yourself, what's your favorite one out there that you really want? You really wish you can get somebody
had one chance
to get
play
on.
it for somebody big, a big name, like Jay-Z. You gonna play one track off this EP. He say, look, man, I ain't got time to listen to one track. Which one is gonna be?
And I ain't got but 35 seconds to listen to it. If I like it,
30 seconds, man.
If I like it, here go $30 million. Which one you playing?
Which one do I play? Let's see. 1 through 6.
So you get, that's good. That's a good answer. You can hit the first one. Hey, shit, hit the first one. Bang, go.
It'll be right now, Smooth It Out. And then from there, probably Kingston Groove. Kingston Groove, I think, is one of the first tracks where I actually fully put the production techniques on display. Coming up with listening to the sounds, putting it together from the first drum sound to the last bass line note. And I think that's the first track I actually fully produced and was really happy with, and started building from there. There's another song called because I had to put one out for the freakish side of me, called Throne Room Foreplay,
Okay.
And from there, I would say Dedication is only because it's very dear to me, because Dedication came about, one, as a school project that I had to do for Full Sail. And at the time, my mother passed away from COVID. So built the song around, from my growing up with her and having her in my life. I put together the song together, kind of like a spoken word, but it rhymes. Because again, I got writing lyrics and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna say that. So I just put together spoken word and rhyme and try to have everything fit together. I got the hook actually from my sister, because the day of the funeral, she was like, mama, I can't remember the hook right now, but I took her words that she was saying at the funeral and made that into the hook. And
Gotcha.
It's all together like that. And then it has a blues feel. And so I played the guitars and the harmonica and the bass drum on that track. And then I actually played the electronic drums, because I have an electronic drum set. So it's pretty much live instrumentation, even though it's digital, with the drum on that track.
Gotcha.
Well, goddamn, man. Let we know we got a low key, we got a Prince in the house. Play all the instruments.
I get the inspiration from him. Again, he
already, man. Well, Ptch Blaq, man. Damn, we can go on about another hour, man. We don't want to hold you too much longer. It's already what we at, Dino, about 40 minutes.
About 40 minutes, yeah.
About 40 minutes, man. So you were part of the Fleet DJs. You came through. So how's that been for you?
It's pretty good. I'm still trying to get my feet wet and trying to figure out how Ptch Blaq can, function in and out of the Fleet DJs. Still trying to learn the Telegram app.
That damn Telegram, boy.
Telegram, buddy, man.
Trying to, since I'm kind of quiet and reserved, so it takes me a while to fully get out there and say, hey, I'm here, and really throw myself in a pond, so to speak, and get wet. So I'm still doing that, and also with the DJing and the weddings. That takes a lot of time, because Monday through Friday, almost every week, I'm working on 1 or maybe 3 client profiles to build for their wedding, because I work on client profiles the week of. So everything, memory, putting their playlist together. I don't take generic playlists and play at somebody's wedding every weekend or a corporate event. I get what they want, get what the client and the other client wants, like the fiance, and put their music together to tell their wedding story. And that takes time. And then I'm also doing the Silhouettes and Shadows mix show mixes, and I can do that and fit that in throughout the week and try to get it into you guys at least
right here on KHUR every week.
At least that Sunday. And then trying to learn the fleet, because I've just gotten the fleet DJs. Maybe it's been about 2 months, maybe. So that's everything's a task right now. Trying to learn.
Right. Are you gonna make the conference by chance?
Huh?
Are you gonna make the conference by chance?
I don't know. I got some client events coming up, usually in July, and
that's a big I can
That's
understand.
a big month for weddings.
Weddings. So I understand that.
But more likely, I'm looking forward to the December fleet meetup.
That's the Texas.
Yeah. And get myself out there and meet the other fleet DJs.
Well, cool, man.
Sure.
Well, you just right down the street from us, man. We gotta get together. We just picked up another fleet member that's right here in Killeen. So between the four of us, we got to go bowl or top golf or something, man, and drink beer, eat some hot wings or something. And just chop it up, post our pictures.
See, he don't like coming this way. He stay out there. He likes staying out that way. You know what I'm saying? Around Austin, Georgetown area. Because you live in Georgetown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he stay out that way. He don't come up this way no more.
I need to go up to Killeen. I need to go, with closing sales, get me some more PTs, to wear around. I need to get Buc-ee's, to get my cinnamon bears,
Oh, yeah. Buc-ee's, I'm 20 minutes. I live in Belton now. I moved out of Killeen. I moved out by Belton. We stay out by the lake now. But Buc-ee's 20 minutes, bro. And I'm going to tell you, at night, my wife be like, hey, go get us some fries, man. I don't know if you ever ate them Buc-ee's French fries.
Bruh, yes, indeed. Hey, but don't let Heavy fool you. He right. He moved out to Belton. You need a 750 credit score to drive in his neighborhood, okay? You ain't just driving down the street. You come through there, you got to get your credit checked at the gate.
The fleet DJs.
He don't live where us normal people live, all right?
Man. But Buc-ee's. So, man, if you ever come through here, by all means, give me a holler, bro. You passing right by me, man. So, I stay 5 minutes from the interstate.
Yeah. I mean, up that way, sometimes either going to Salado, they got wedding venues up there.
Do you golf by chance?
No.
Okay.
We're going to have to change that.
Baseball.
Because Salado got a nice golf course. That's what I'm finna say. We can probably meet you in Salado and go golf.
We're going to have to change that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's if it's in the winter, that's cool, but
right now, bro. Oh my God.
Yeah, in the summer, right? Now, we wait till 8:00 when the sun go down, take him out. So I don't mess with the sun. I mean, it's
hey man, look
here than it is in Iraq with that heat and humidity,
bruh.
NTC, all that, bro. It's done. Yeah. I'm like you, man. It's done. That heat done broke me, bro. I don't do the heat if I don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, man, look, we definitely appreciate you stopping through. Again, we could really go on and on and on, but if somebody want to get a hold of you, they want to get in contact with you, they want to hear some of your music, maybe even get on it. You got an artist, maybe they want to get on it, or another producer, you know what I'm saying, up-and-coming producer that's not as accomplished as you, maybe want to collab with you. How would they get a hold of you, or how would they go about doing that?
They get a hold of me at Instagram at official Ptch Blaq. That's Ptch Blaq, not spelled how it is. I had to be different and spell it, different.
Right.
And different than original. Far as that, you can also connect with us at www.groovelineproductions.com for weddings, corporate events, stuff like that. We have, not only myself, but all of our DJs that are contracted under us have been to school for music, either business or just graduated themselves from a 2-year university for audio engineering. So all of our DJs know the music of business, and we create, not only play music. So, you know,
Right.
we can get down with playing music and get down with actually playing music. You know?
Yes, sir.
All right, then. Well, all right, Ptch Blaq, man. It's good to always talk to you, bro. Keep them mixes coming. Again, every Tuesday afternoon, I should say, midday mix right here on KHUR.
Right on KHUR.
Radio. Yeah. You can
I'm trying to tell stories with mixes when I send it to y'all. So,
all right, bro.
Hey, well, it's good talking to you, man. We'll chop it up with you in a few, bro.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Well, there you have it. Fleet DJ
Yes.
Ptch Blaq.
Ptch Blaq and Groove Line Productions, man. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out. Hit that website up. And make sure y'all follow him on Instagram, too. Official Ptch Blaq. No I in pitch, because I done made that mistake several times. No I in pitch, all right?
There you
Get
go.
it right. But yeah, man, it was good talking to him, bro. You know, learned a lot of good stuff. He got some serious backstories on, you know, how he came to be in the position that he's in now.
You know something? We always kind of look over this here. You think about the stories we've heard. Everybody say, you know, kind of accidentally stumble on the music. Nah, it wasn't an accident. I mean, he been with music since, you know, his parents.
Right.
And remember, even my story when I would be telling about how, you know, I went to the military. But I can't forget, man, radio and all that. That was a big part of my household. My grandmother played the piano. So it was always there. I just never thought about it as a profession or anything like that, because it was, you know.
Right.
But yeah.
And now you are a pretty good engineer, audio engineer. I mean, yeah.
And not school trained. I mean, just listen at you, and hey, trial and error. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. For sure.
All right,
well,
then,
hey,
bro.
that's gonna do it for this week. Make sure y'all follow us on all social media platforms at KHUR Radio. Don't forget to visit us at www.khurradio.com. And I promised y'all at the beginning of the show that we was gonna talk about the Texas Heat Wave mixtape. It is out now. It was released June 10th, 2021. 2022. It is out right now on all the major platforms. So please go ahead, cop that, take a listen to it, support Texas Fleet DJs, and be looking out for the next one. We all are accepting submissions right now for Volume 2. On that note, we're going to call it a day.
Already.
It's KHUR, The Vault, the cure for urban music.
My station. Hit it.